The trial of 3 Tacoma police officers accused of killing Manny Ellis, an unarmed black man, concluded its 4th week of witness testimony yesterday. This week, jurors heard clashing opinions from 2 people with extensive but very different backgrounds in healthcare. A fire department paramedic who was at Manny Ellis' side the night he died in custody of police, and an expert cardiologist retained by prosecutors. He reviewed materials from the case and offered his opinion on what caused Ellis to go into cardiac arrest. Hi, I'm Peter Talbot, the criminal justice reporter for the News Tribune. I've been writing about the trial of officers Christopher Burbank and Matthew Collins, who were charged with murder and manslaughter for Ellis' death, and Timothy Rankin, who's charged with manslaughter. Ellis died March 3, 2020, after he encountered the police while walking home from a 7-Eleven in Tacoma's South End neighborhood. 4 eyewitnesses have testified that police instigated the interaction and that Ellis didn't provoke them. Lawyers for the officers have argued that police had to subdue Ellis, claiming that he attacked their patrol car and was aggressive and resisted arrest. When Tacoma Fire Department Lieutenant Nicholas Wilson and other medics made it to Ellis' side at about 11:34 p.m., he testified that Ellis' breathing was shallow and he had the consciousness level of a rock. He still had a pulse, but the paramedics had to help him manually breathe with a bag valve mask. Wilson, who has 20 years of experience as a medic, went on to testify that he disagreed with a medical examiner's ruling on Ellis' cause of death, stating it was his belief that this was a case of excited delirium. Excited delirium is a controversial term. It's often embraced by law enforcement to describe people exhibiting odd behavior, usually suspected of using drugs, sometimes described as having superhuman strength or very high body temperature. But the cardiologist who testified this week called that pseudoscience. Daniel Wohlgelernter, a doctor from Santa Monica, California, said excited delirium isn't a diagnosis accepted by major medical associations. Wohlgelernter didn't have the on-scene experience with Ellis that the fire department medic did, an undeniably valuable aspect of his testimony, but the doctor has more than 35 years of clinical experience, and the cardiologist said it's his opinion that the way police restrained Ellis, on his stomach in handcuffs tied to his legs, and the weight of officers on top of him, caused him to asphyxiate, go into cardiac arrest, and die. He testified that the specific rhythm of Ellis' heart, as recorded on a heart monitor, was evidence that the cardiac arrest was the result of that oxygen deprivation, and it ruled out the possibility Ellis died of meth overdose or heart disease. This is just a snippet of the testimony jurors heard this week. If you want to learn more, go to thenewstribune.com, and I'll be back here every Friday with updates from the trial.